Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's the Top Delinquent, Chapter 65, and this one's titled Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. The next day, as promised, you and Iida went shopping for a new phone for you. It was such a good feeling being able to start anew, and you proudly set it up with a selfie of you and Iida as the wallpaper. As expected, the x-ray of Iida's arm showed that he had indeed healed perfectly, and he was allowed to take the cast off. He was put under the supervision of the physiotherapist for his rehabilitation, but as you suspected, he was beyond diligent with his exercises and his arm was doing very well. "Are you presentable, Yin?" Iida asked as he waited nervously in the lounge room of your apartment for you to come out. "I'm just finding my shoes," you called back, rummaging through another drawer. "Where did I put them?" Iida heard you muttering to yourself as more banging noises could be heard from your room. "Language," he called out to you when he heard a swear word in amongst all the banging and hitting. "Where'st art thou frickin' shoes?" you hollered cheekily, knowing that was going to rile Iida up. A lengthy monologue lifted through your open bedroom door as Iida lectured you on the proper use of language, and you listened idly as you crouched down and looked under your bed to try and find your shoes. "Found them!" you shouted, cutting into his dramatic scolding as you dragged them out and put them on, somewhat ignoring Iida as he continued to talk. Shoes on, you exited your room and walked down to him. "Okay, class rep, I'm ready." Iida turned to look at you, and he blushed immediately, looking away a little as he bashfully scratched a cheek. "You look beautiful, Yin," he said softly, hesitating and looked back at you. "And so do you, Mr. I'm a big boy now I don't need a cast on," you teased. "Must I remind you that the cast was not due to age restriction. It was for protection of my arm during..." "I know, Tenya, I know," you said with a chuckle as you took his hand, the hand that had the cast on, but was now free of any coverings, and led him to the door. "Let's go have some fun to celebrate your no-cast arm." It was a short ride by Iida's family car to the markets, and before you knew it, you were there. The concierge dropped you and Iida at the gates for the night, and you walked off, ready for a night of fun. "What do you want to do first?" you asked him after you had hopped out of the car and thanked the driver. "Whatever you would like to do," Iida said politely. "Okay, first of all, I want food because I'm a bottomless pit," you said, your eagle eyes already honing in on the food stalls not far away. "Of course," Iida replied, following you through the crowd. "Whatever you like, you shall have." You smiled back at him as you wove your way through the people, making a beeline for a particular store that sold the food you were craving. "One serving of this, please," you called to the attendant as you approached. "Sure," he replied, quickly getting your food made and then handing it to you in exchange for your coins. "Thank you," you called to him, backing back through the crowd so you could find somewhere quieter to try and eat your meal. "What did you order?" Iida asked you, trying to look into the container curiously. "This," you said, opening the lid. "Here, try some, it's so good." You grabbed the plastic cutlery and then got a bit of the food on the end to feed Iida. "Open wide," you instructed him. Bashfully, he opened his mouth and then ate the food, nodding as he savoured it. "This is surprisingly delicious." "Right? What do you mean by surprisingly? Of course it's delicious." You sat and ate a little bit more before spying some games nearby. "Ooh, is that a punching bag, Tenya?" you asked him. "Pretty sure it is." He adjusted his glasses and looked over to where you were pointing, squinting to see in the distance. "I believe you are correct," he said. "Let's go then. You'll smash that thing. I've seen you punch before." Iida stood and headed towards it, with you following behind, still munching on food as you came up beside him and watched people line up to punch the bag. The rules were pretty simple. Highest score won. If you got over 700 in the first round, then you'd go to the next round, challenging others until there was only one top score. Iida watched carefully as person after person paid $1 to play, some getting a score of 100 and some getting a score of 800. "Are you going to try?" you asked him, nudging his side with your elbow as you shoveled more food into your mouth. "I'd like that prize," you said, pointing up to the line of prizes hanging from the roof of the stall. Iida nodded, still watching people try their hardest. When everyone present had had a turn, he stepped forward and placed $1 in the punching bag manager's hand. "Alrighty, folks, we got a new member to try out. Let's give him a hand," the loud attendant called, hyping Iida up as he stepped over to the bag. "Not with your bad hand, Tenya," you called in warning, earning a few looks from bystanders. Iida, at hearing you call out, switched arms and changed his stance so that he could punch with the arm that he hadn't broken, then stepped forwards and swung at the bag. The metal bar holding the ball swung backwards and up, smacking into the rail with a loud clang, and the whole machine shook as the numbers skyrocketed to 999. A loud gasp of surprise shot through the onlookers, and you smirked proudly as the manager's eyes nearly fell out of his head. I do believe we have a winner, he announced, stepping forward to shake Iida's hand, while the crowd burst into a round of cheering and clapping. Iida bowed first to the manager, then to the crowd, and asked for the prize that you had asked for. Damn, he said with surprise when he came back to you with the present. That was amazing. It's a good thing no one died when you punched them. That was a pretty strong smackdown you just did. And there is the end of chapter 65. That was the second last chapter. Stay tuned for chapter 66 coming tomorrow.